Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a video of me playing Ace Attorney Investigations. Joining me, filling the characters that I'm not, is DrawnWithoutRef Productions or Awkward Gravity Falls Screen Caps. YouTuber Giddy and Gleeful.
I have too many names.
No, he definitely. Turnabout Visitor.
Yeah, I have too many names. Striped Green Rabbit, PopeLickVA, PopeLickVA.
They only know me as PopeLickVA.
Right, yeah, that's true.
To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor.
Oh, I think I'm reading the wrong character. That may be true, but why? That wasn't their choice. That was, why go this far? It's,
oh, wait, is there something on the screen?
Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me.
Did you share the screen?
Yeah, it's Sharon.
Oh, okay, there it is.
No matter what the cost. Country Club boy. Look, he's got the gold medal. And killing that dude. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors.
It's a prostitute.
Yes, I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Wait, no?
March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors, building 12th floor, hallway.
It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean.
That's a detective's job, right?
Yeah.
The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the?
Ba-ba-ba.
What's the meaning of this?
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
I forget what character this this character, I'm not going to tell you what character this
Yeah,
is
that's
because
fair.
it's spoilers.
Identify yourself.
Ellipses. Shut up.
Identify yourself. Shut up.
Huh. You've got some nerve committing a murder in a prosecutor's office.
The nerve.
The nerve of some people. Ugh, just so impolite.
Rude. Yeah.
Is that a threat?
It was pretty vague.
You shot at a suit that kind of looks like mine. I can gather what that's supposed to mean, but you could just say, hey, stop talking or I'm going to shoot you.
No, I get the feeling that he's not that much less dense than Gumshoe is.
Let me make one thing very clear. Who?
Edgeworth?
That Edgeworth.
No, why?
I mean, he doesn't seem very quick on the uptake.
No, he's just trying to be calm and collected.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And he is calm and collected. He's just mildly annoyed that someone murdered
Yeah.
someone.
What?
No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one.
Ellipses. Oh, it's a ghost.
Yes, that's why I didn't want to spoil anything for you.
My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic, busy days. Da-ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-da-bum. That sounded like some kind of narration for the opening of...
Yeah.
March 14th, 2:56 a.m. Hi, prosecutors, officers, room 1202.
I've finished.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
alright. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir.
Very well. Please continue your investigation.
Yes, sir.
Playing timpani on the the framed suit.
Huh.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir?
Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene.
Oh, when I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away.
This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle. Stop laughing!
Yeah, sorry, boss. That murder case thing, I was just so hilarious. I had to chuckle a little bit.
The one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being.
You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt?
No, I'm perfectly fine. That's just how my face looks.
Let me get to your office. It's totally trashed.
I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. No one
Murder,
gets
I
away
can
with
deal
committing
with.
murder in my office. No one gets away with tracking mud in my office.
Oh, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing.
The crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it.
Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating.
Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. Not like a tattoo, more of a metaphorical thing. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office?
Just shoves that into his logic.
I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you?
No, not really. Especially because of this.
The key to your office? Oh, what do you mean, sir?
If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you.
Logic?
By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. When a mommy information and a daddy information...
Too adult for me, Mr. Edgeworth.
That is the end. They get together and make a logic.
So, how do you use it?
How do you use logic? Oh dear. How did this guy get hired?
He has a driver's license.
First, I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together.
There's his logic button, see?
Right.
Pressing his head there.
Now, to touch
They're here on my temple.
the logic button and recall the facts. Do you want to press it for me, Detective Gumshoe?
I don't know, sir. Seems like a heavy responsibility.
Oh. Maybe.
Brain blast.
Brain blast?
For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after?
You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's a beautiful logic, sir.
Yes, well, thank you? When you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we?
Yes, sir. Yes, that is exactly how the left side of your brain works. That's exactly how logical people think through
Press
things.
it like a button.
Yes, and then they piece things together, like, yeah. Basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir!
I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button.
And Gumshoe's like, alright, you lost me.
Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir! I'll provide some comic relief, right?
Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose.
Move the glow around the partner button. Huh, okay.
What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon?
No, some other gun that was lying around your office.
If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of the gun here.
I think I've seen one of those before. It's a gun! In my opinion, this is a gun.
Care to enlighten me as to where?
I know! I was issued the exact same model. I think.
I think.
I think.
Detective.
I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it.
So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. That's probably irrelevant.
It was me, sir. I did it. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games, because I'm so good at it.
I had no idea you were interested in chess.
Look what is he doing?
Nice tie. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try.
In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case.
Just so I can humiliate you with how bad you are.
Yeah, though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much.
Well, don't worry, sir. I'll pay your taxes for you.
They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine the area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Whoa,
All right.
This is rated E, sir.
Alright, he's covering that one.
That particular cranny.
Yeah, his hands on over his butthole.
Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looked...
Oh, it looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Yup. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. I can't keep it in here.
It's an awfully big responsibility to take care of a corpse.
You have to feed it and water. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course. I'm an adventure game protagonist. My
I can fit
pockets are...
anything in my pocket.
This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all.
Alright, if you say so.
I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer.
It's a three-hole binder, and he's just poking holes in evidence so it fits in there. It's like, huh.
Gun, here we go.
Yeah, well, the gun has the natural.
Yeah.
But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often.
Probably again.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
Hey, I think I've seen one of those before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey! I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky-dink.
Let's take a look here. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you.
Oh.
I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic, and figure out if any of them are connected to each other.
Logic.
Brain blast!
Yeah, that's literally what it is. He goes into this alternate reality where it's a brain world, and he thinks of stuff.
And then, what is Edgeworth? But did you notice how trippy everything looked while he was thinking? What do you
Yeah.
think Edgeworth looks like from the outside when he's doing it? It's like,
Well, he obviously looks only like that because he's so calm all the time.
oh yeah. But his vision just gets all blurry, and
Yes.
he's just like,
Well, I don't see anything different from what I usually see.
yeah.
The revolver, the standard model used by detectives, could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Well, at least take it to dinner first, sir. Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see what we got here.
He's so polite, he even says, excuse me, to a corpse.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him.
Victim's revolver. Data jotted down in my organizer.
Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver.
Oh, as I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle.
Of a gun, I think there is.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Look.
all I'm doing is looking closely at this.
Yeah. Oh, look! I see how it gets the name Revolver now. Look what it's doing.
Oh, that's what they call it that.
It looks like only one round was fired from this.
Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? So we know it couldn't have been me.
We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility.
That it wasn't you.
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Aw, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. The nerve of some people. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean the place until it sparkled.
Does he have a life?
No, sir, I don't.
I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Art.
Jim! Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you?
Are you alright?
Don't touch me. Leave me alone. Just let me be.
Sorry, but I can't do that. You burst into my office while I was investigating a crime scene. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from caressing the body.
The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's turned in for the night.
Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal.
Where are my manners?
Aren't you that prosecutor?
Why, yes, I am. I'm Jack Sportsman. Or Jock Sportsman. He's a jock and a sportsman. Do you
Right.
get it?
Yeah.
Do you-
They're really subtle with naming in these games.
Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir.
No one asked you.
Oh,
So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office?
Yes, that is correct.
Then it was
That's
you.
accurate.
You're the one who killed Jim.
Hey! Don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time. Okay. So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait. That means... Wait. I'm not sure what that means.
So it was you then. You're Jim's killer.
No way, pal. You've got it all wrong.
Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? Jock Sportsman? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected.
He's literally the only collected prosecutor in the whole game series.
I know, right? Why is why is that his impression of what a prosecutor's supposed to... I think that's just his impression of what everyone's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
He's just expecting, like, a world where people get into car accidents and they were like,
This should not have happened. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions?
alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth.
I am not a customer. I work here.
I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. He's challenging him to a thumb war now. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal?
A pleasure to work with you,
He says with his hand still firmly at his sides. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for
that's what the
barging
game
in
is
like
called.
that. What?
That's what the game is called. Conducting our investigation.
Yes. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all.
Thank you. I intend to.
I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. I need to absorb his soul. You there.
Sir!
Oh, that's awkward.
I can only walk at right angles, you know.
I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim.
Take one.
I should probably give them some space.
Oh, you guys making a movie? Can I be in it?
Do you have anything to report?
What voice?
I don't know. Just this
sir,
guy.
yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Find a contradiction and then say...
Objection.
Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more.
Oh, your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor?
It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
Yes, but are you sure that was a threat? So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in?
Debut.
Debut? Yeah. Yes.
But Gumshoe would pronounce it debut. Also, Gumshoe sound like he's like collecting Edgeworth trading cards or something.
As seen in episode 284. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here.
Hmm? Like what?
I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right in front of us.
Oh, what are we to do? Really?
Yeah, Gumshoe's like, contradiction? Looks more like your prosecutorial debut suit, pal.
Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me.
Don't read too much into that line. They're talking about Phoenix.
Oh, but he's Arrow's Edgeworth.
I know.
I'm starting to sound like him.
But I have my own methods, and we'll conduct this
And we'll conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play.
Juicy.
First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction.
I mean, like, this looks good.
That's pretty contradictory.
It's what I'd call a spot, at least.
This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction.
Oh, what about without conviction?
What about with rather than with conviction, what about touch it with a fine? Or touch it with
Yeah,
several days of community service?
touch it with indicting.
And when I found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things.
He explains to himself.
Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction.
Well, what do you mean, sir? I feel like I'm gonna be asking that a lot.
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first
On
failed.
December 24th. Almost Christmas.
The first failed the victim, and the second failed this frame.
Hey, that's right.
However, this gun was only fired once,
Hey, that's true too.
which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight?
By the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes?
What's the thing sticking out from behind the frame?
You never saw anything.
Secret safe? Oh, I smell money. No, I
I'll
just didn't
spare us the
shower.
trouble.
I just didn't shower this morning.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside.
Is it a portal that helps you keep track of your secret twin brother?
Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way.
Roger that. Achoo, achoo. Oh, talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We own... So it looks quite a lot like what you have with you.
Oh. Right, yes.
We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session.
That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
Secret safe. Data jotted down in my organizer.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
I'm going with this.
Huh. Now this is odd.
You found something, sir?
This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
There's no such thing as too clean, sir. Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there, the forensic scientist.
Yes, sir. That's me. I'm the forensic scientist.
That's his full name.
The forensic scientist.
Doctor, the forensic scientist to you.
Every man, every lawyer.
Could you please dust this area for fingerprints?
This video is going to be full of a lot of inside jokes that no one watching is going to realize.
You got it, sir. To be fair, even if it was a stream, there would still be a bunch of inside jokes.
Yeah.
Huh.
I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well.
Let's see, detective's gun. Tendency to clean my things without asking. Are you sure you didn't do it, detective?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have.
Oh boy, I love that game.
No, this isn't connect the dots. This is more like mastermind.
Oh,
Like-
yeah. Something tells me I wouldn't be very good at that one.
Like,
What, Perfection? Is that the name of that game?
The
The poppin' one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one
There's a
made me
wiped
think.
fingerprints. Probably.
I think so.
Brain blast! I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe.
Theft, question mark?
I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what other pieces of information can tell me about this crime.
So did you already play through this, or do you just know the
Yeah.
story? Oh. So
Brain
yeah.
blast!
I haven't finished the final case yet, so you're gonna have to help me there. But you'll
Hey.
get the whole hang of things by then.
Right.
There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh! You mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir! I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library!
Sure. Let's give that a try.
Why do all the good ones always die young? I mean, because I shoot them, but that feels unrelated. Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
I would be most pleased if you stopped talking forever. All we can do is search for the truth of dead folk. Of the living impaired.
And so, what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we calmly restore the files to... Organization is the only thing that will bring your friend justice.
Makes all the difference.
Organization, the truth.
You got it. Here, let me help.
So this file was here, that book was here.
You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. And you're kind of the obvious villain here, you know?
Would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
Oh, the bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position. Hence the prince
Standing on his hands from the bookshelf.
Yeah, I don't really want to know what else they were doing, if that's not the case.
And then the guy...
Oh, and then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
Sir, but you know I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture.
I mean,
Must have been a
again,
human
I'm going with the
centipede,
bullet
like-
hole.
That, or they were a human centipede-like thing with 4 hands. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
But I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot.
Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it.
That would be the logical conclusion.
I'm getting good at this.
The victim's handprints.
The victim's handprints.
The victim's handprints! He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot backwards.
There are prints on the floor, too.
Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor.
Also backwards.
Eureka! There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
Oh, what do you mean, sir? See, I told you I'd be saying that a lot.
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
What are you talking about? The stomach's that area right down near the floor, right? What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
And that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, Detective.
You know, you don't have to... I'm just trying to help you, sir.
In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a
I was born from a mistake.
contradiction.
I was born from a mistake, too, sir.
God.
What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet?
The order of the files.
Oh, is that the script right there?
I believe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh?
Yeah, you see, here, how the files that were shot through begin with the number 0. What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird!
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred.
Ah.
Ha! So that's it. I believe that the killer made the same incorrupt shub as you did, Hebib.
Now you're speaking my language, sir.
Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
Oh boy, I love rearranging files.
All the fun
You
of
think
sitting still, writing things down.
Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to see how it was before it was moved?
They've finished processing the crime scene, so we could do whatever the heck we want with this cadaver.
Alright.
If you please, Detective Gumshoe.
There we go. So you set you up all nice.
As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it logically should be. The killer went through my files before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in Oh,
And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess.
exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim.
But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why?
Maybe they weren't done.
Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to take another look.
I don't know, maybe she just thought he was old
This!
at the time. What is that?
Gum? Oh.
Who could that be?
If only we knew those 2 missing letters.
This one's unsolvable. Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Quiet, Portsman.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity, indeed.
No, wait. There's gotta be some mistake. I don't even know how to spell my own name. Mr. Richford, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Wow, that really helps me. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after?
Stolen file that I jotted down in my organizer. He regained the part of his brain he lost by being wrong. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. Gum-O!
Who could that be?
And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
Why would we throw a party at a time like this?
If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up!
Oh, thanks, sir.
Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning.
You got it.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. Like that he's smiling after his partner died. It's almost as if... And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic, waiting for me to dig it out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do?
What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him.
You're gonna dress like a girl?
Not cross-dress. Cross-examine.
We can save that for later, I guess.
One way or another, I'll explode the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
I can explain it to the people watching at home. Mr. Postman, if you are ready.
Oh, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir.
Cross-examination, Mr. Pottsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed that theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf.
But there's a flaw in your logic. I'm not that smart.
But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Justice! Thumbs up! That should be... that rather than serve and protect, the police officer should just have justice!
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer.
I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest! And then Jim's in the background like, yeah! This guy!
Huh. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here.
And I like how he's not saying that there's no way he could be the culprit because he's my friend and he's not that smart. He's just saying like, well, you don't have proof.
Yeah, evidence is everything.
Yeah.
And expose it with credible evidence.
Rebuttal, Mr. Portsman's logic.
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
Huh? What is it?
Why do you call the victim Jim when his name is Buddy Faith?
Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. You get it? Because I'm a jock and a sportsman, and I go to the gym.
Gime. What's a gime?
Jock and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam?
But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Well, Jock and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim.
Huh. He talks about the victim like he was his pet.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody treating another human being like a pet, sir.
I know, a prosecutor treating his
His detective like...
So where do you want me to put this newspaper?
Yeah. Okay. Alright.
You had to.
Objection! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your face.
Huh.
The glaring smile.
Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this. No problem. I'm game. Do you get it? Because he's dressed...
Yeah, he's a sportsman.
Yeah.
He's the terrific athlete.
I'm, this is, the jock sportsman. Everybody says he's a terrific athlete.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking! I got it! Ha ha ha!
You have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What?
That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Policeman? Oh, nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't kill Jim. Not the third Jim I've killed.
So, okay, he's got a very unique system here to dispose of his sweat. See, the headband catches it.
Yes, and then it disperses.
Right, because look, he has his
hair.
His hair's styled like a little, like irrigation system.
Yeah.
And then notice it goes down in the back where his giant collar is. So the reason his collar is that big is because he has a bucket back there.
And that's where he gets his drinking water.
Oh, gross!
He is a sportsman.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner. I mean the killer went... I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. Objection! It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen, you ninny. The missing letters in the detective's name, where the file should be, is proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone, and there's only half an H. That's an N.
If Detective Gumsnow really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he couldn't. Excuse me for a second. I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files.
If I could read.
Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Oh!
Let me break my spine in shock.
Which means... what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. And tampering with the crime scene is criminal! Oh.
That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. All of them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman?
Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. Did you get that?
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it?
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes.
Except for athletes.
Yeah.
Why are everyone's so cheery? Even though I feel more dead than alive.
Oh, but you know, it's like, hey, okay, a detective here claiming he feels dead. You know, that's offensive. Dead is a term that only dead people can use. They can call each other that.
Don't appropriate the term dead.
It really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
Well, what is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Oh, I hate when this man talks.
I'm gonna fly away! Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office?
One other person?
The janitor.
Hey, you there!
Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Officer, would you go...
That's my name.
Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me?
Right, a lady?
The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Oh, that's my favorite Madonna song. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't!
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
It's his girlfriend.
I'm just very insecure.
No, it's his girlfriend. I believe she needs no introduction. So, yeah. I believe she needs no introduction.
Here's an introduction.
Sure.
Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie!
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the key. And by the key, I mean the master key, which can open all the doors everywhere in the prosecutor's office.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Oh, well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective.
What handle?
There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. He says no need for theatrics as I dramatically throw on my coat. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion! It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that only leaves Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? In the biblical sense. Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So I'd like to point out that while Edgeworth was gone for the summer, Gumshoe's girlfriend got a job as security guard at the prosecutor's office, and Gumshoe came to the prosecutor's office every day to clean Edgeworth's stuff.
That was their date spot.
Yeah, well, only on the off days when I wasn't with Mr. Edgeworth.
But Mr. Edgeworth was on vacation for the summer.
Yeah, so I needed a backup significant other.
So your girlfriend.
Yes.
Rather than your prosecutor. You're like, okay, I guess I'll spend time with my girlfriend.
So you're saying she used the master key?
Master key down my organizer. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally.
See, yeah, did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you get
It's
it?
all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. Sports. I'm just gonna, whenever he goes into something like that, I'm just gonna say sports.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him.
Poke. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend a night in Natalie's port, man?
in Jacques' sport. It's pretty obvious that at Megan's foxhole.
Megan's foxhole.
Okay,
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
there's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? Look at him, his arms.
That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. Then you are in the wrong person's videos, pal.
What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time that could be spent.
This is a colossal waste.
It's a colossal waste of time.
Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that. Miss
No,
Bird,
I
please.
would be the judge of it, actually.
Yes, the judge.
Miss Bird, please tell us your lies.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
Missing. As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words as, I couldn't have done it, the means were not available to me,
Here's
you're
my
the
alibi.
killer,
It's perfectly logical.
you're the killer, jock sportsman. Oh,
I'm not lying, sir.
yes you are! I mean, then why do you have it?
I don't quite know. Just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Huh, a likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that.
Yeah, I lose
Right
them
here in
for-
my notebook. Where did I put it?
Yeah, I lose them for her, pal.
With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it or I gave it to Gumshoe. No offense.
No, none, Dave. Yeah, pal. Trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is. I mean, she's dating me.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive. Didn't we already establish that it was theft?
Oh, right. I guess, yeah.
Alright, bye Maggie, have fun in jail. I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time
these
to
arrows.
counterattack with a few facts of my own. Snapple facts. I'm going to throw Snapple tops at him. Okay. Objection!
Hitting the logic button.
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. So do you know what the French word for bird is?
Bird.
The French word for bird is wasseau.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So in the French version, her name is Lusso, which means the bird. But still,
What a story, Portsman.
it was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. Shh.
The secret safe is a secret safe.
The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors.
Yeah, and also only prosecutors know about it.
Yes. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of a cunning plan.
Would you
But...
just call me? Oh.
Oh, God. But she could have found it by accident when she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit... No one would have touched the suit that I first prosecuted in. That's a 2014, 2015 fashion. She's clearly fashionable enough to know to stay far away from it.
She wouldn't be caught dead.
I'd say the culprits knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Is that chocolate?
Yeah, I was about to say, is that right?
Like
Is that
wrapped
is
in
that
foil?
yellow? Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And there's a lot of things I don't know about. That means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Because he tells Maggie everything. He just gets home and he's like,
Maggie, you're not gonna believe what Mr. Edgeworth said today.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor?
Well, no, other than the fact that they used a prosecutor's gun and
Well, a detective's
only
gun.
had the keys that were only given to prosecutors and
Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. As a matter of fact, Judging by your facial expression right now, I'm going to go out on a limb.
I mean, I know I'm very much against not having evidence, but that seems like a lot of evidence.
What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different
Prosecutor.
Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Curses! Why? What made you?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Well, what's with the sudden angry face?
It's all my fault. Oh, good. Haven't thrown in jail then. It's Jem. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. Exclamation mark! What did you just say?
Interrobang. A talking cat.
Ellipses interrobang? We were partners. Like inseparable, conjoined. We were like brothers, only closer. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
Then that means...
It was a suicide! Someone else did it! Someone that wasn't me! Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Miss Maggie Bird?
Excuse me?
Oh! I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
But no! I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Plus, even if he was the thief, you wouldn't have a key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? Look how stupid this man looks. It was Jim who stole the master key. There's the med kit, because Capcom rents that office out to Resident Evil at certain days of the week.
Check the plan.
Chuck the Plant is... Charlie the Plant is in Phoenix's office.
Oh, right.
Ah!
Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything to make sense that doesn't mean me being caught as the killer. Has he no honor? Well then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out of my office? Which, this is my office! Nope.
You can't kick us out! This is Mr. Edgeworth's office!
Oh, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show.
But this is a game! Listen, pal! How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit!
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. You're Donkey Konging again.
But sir, I'm gonna wreck it!
We have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful.
And by my crime scene, I mean the crime that I committed on this scene.
Huh. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We'll meet again. Well, that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? Now, listen up here, boy.
I heard...
You run
I
along
heard 32 gunshots.
Yeah, 32 gunshots. It was turned out to just be a rattlesnake.
Wow.